Hello, my slideshow presentation will be on fingerprinting, evolution, and impact. Other classmates will cover DNA, non-biological trace evidence, digital evidence, and drugs. The history of fingerprinting goes back thousands of years. It is suspected in history people used fingerprints as a signature and as marks of authenticity. This discipline dates back to Europe in the 17th and 18th centuries. Dr. Henry Faulds took note that the ridges in fingerprints were unique to people, and criminals may be captured by fingerprinting the crime scene and matching the prints. In India, around 1850, the British civil servants used fingerprinting as a way to personal identification. In 1877, Thomas Taylor, who worked at the U.S. Department of Agriculture, suggested identifying criminals by using finger and palm prints. Biometric identification is a method created by Alfonso Bertello. This is the measurement of body parts. Using biometrics is historically and currently the parameter for personal identification used in law enforcement. In 1893, Scotland Yard added fingerprinting to the criminal identification system. This was such a success, it dominated over the identification system they had previously been using. Fingerprints cannot be examined upside down or at an angle. Fingerprint analysis looks at suitability, orientation, looking at and for minute content. Every minute feature will be questioned and examined and compared to see if the impression has the same markings in the same locations. The steps are analysis, comparison, evolution, and then it must be verified. The National Electronic Repository Identification Records System electronically searches for matches. It will locate several, and then an expert compares them looking for a match. Fingerprints in the past were taken by inking the fingers of the person getting fingerprinted and individually pressing them onto a fingerprint card. These cards had 10 labeled spaces, and the inked finger and thumbs got pressed into the corresponding spots. At the bottom of the fingerprint cards was a spot to press the whole hand down in order to get a second set of impressions just in case the first one wasn't clear enough. Nowadays, fingerprinting is done with live scan technology. The finger is scanned and directly gets sent to the National Electronic Repository Identification Records System. Fingerprints are stored electronically, and the system contains more than 70 million fingerprints. Not all of these prints are from criminals. Some people get fingerprinted for security clearances, permits, background checks. There are a variety of other reasons. Fingerprints are patterns that are individualized from person to person. In a criminal investigation, these physical matches are used to prove the person was at the scene. The National Electronic Repository Identification Records System searches and retrieves fingerprints with similar markings for comparison by the experts. Fingerprints are known as an individualized trait. They develop while in the womb, which are permanent and do not change over a lifetime. Fingerprints are important physical evidence that identifies a person. even if they are using an alias or have false documents proving a different identity. The biometrics method of fingerprint identification is not flawless. Experts may not be able to agree if fingerprints match, and courts can decide to disregard expert testimony. An expert may develop a bias if they receive certain information about the case. The automated fingerprint identification system was designed to take the human component out of the equation, but the system has shown an error rating of 27%. The longer a fingerprint has been at the scene, the more opportunity there is for it to be contaminated. Fingerprinting can be admitted with the rest of evidence at court. It is a way to identify an individual, but it is not direct evidence of a crime. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed my slideshow. I got all my information from my textbook, Introductory Forensic Science, and from the PDF, Admissibility of Fingerprint Evidence and Constitutional Objections to Fingerprinting Raised in Criminal and Civil Cases. I got all my images from Google Images. Thank you.